Today I'm going to be talking about how to replace a 5.4 liter V8 engine in a '06 F250 pickup. It's basically the same as an F150 and Expedition with a couple of differences, so I was going to go over those with you. First off, the transmission dipstick is bolted to the side of the valve cover instead of on the side of the block, which makes it a whole lot easier to do it on this one. The torque converter is a 6-bolt on this one, and Expedition's F150s are 4-bolt. The way the exhaust hooks up and all the bolts in the transmission, the main bolts and everything, those are all basically the same along with the starter. The cross member is definitely different. Engine mounts are different, but to me they were easier to unbolt on the 250 than on the 150 or Expedition. The AC compressor, I never take them out. I always just take them off the block and then just lay them off to the side. But you can see down there, the 3 holes right there are access points that you'll get to from underneath the truck to get the bolts out for the AC compressor. The power steering, I usually just take the bolts out of those and set them down also. I don't ever take them off. The cowling doesn't have to come off or loose or anything. Now, I did have to take the intake off because whenever I was pulling the engine out, the pan was so low that it was hanging on the cross member on the back, and then the intake started to get really close up here. So I went ahead and took the intake off. It gave it plenty of room. In fact, it was way more room than what F150 or Expedition gives me. Whenever you take the radiator out, just be careful with the coolant lines down there, the transmission cooling, the transmission fluid lines down there. If you get the right tool, they still don't come out half the time. Just be patient, and they'll eventually come out. I usually on the 250 go ahead and take off the front core support. It's got like 8 bolts and a few other things hanging on to it. You can see it right there off to the side. I take that off, and then it gives you ample amount of room to take the engine out. You don't have to take the hood off or the grill or anything. It'll lift right out. Now, with this being a 4-wheel drive, it does set off the ground, so quite a bit more, so you might have to have a bigger hoist in order to get it out. I usually, most of the time, I use a 2-ton hoist. If that don't do it, then I'll go up to the bigger hoist. But basically, this truck here, I'm replacing it with a brand new factory engine. There are some advantages with going with a factory engine. Now, it's probably the more expensive way of going because you're paying, the factory for a brand new engine, but they give you a 3-year, 50,000-mile warranty with it. And I'll show you right here. Here's a new engine. Basically, you'll still have to swap your wiring over on all your accessories like your pulleys and stuff, but the timing cover is already on it. It's already been timed. It's got brand new timing set, timed from the factory. Comes with new exhaust gaskets, new exhaust bolts. Don't have to worry about them breaking out of the other engine because they replace them. The wiring harness can stay on the engine whenever you pull it out, so you just swap it on the floor and it goes back in. Also, the new engine came with new cam position sensors, so that was nice. Some of the other sensors you'll have to replace. On the back here, the connectors, whenever you're pulling it out, you just got to disconnect the driver's side O2 sensor, and then the passenger side O2 sensors over here, just connect those. This connector here is basically going to the actuator on the back of the intake. And then, let's see, the engine in the 250 has another oil cooler on there. That came with a new engine. And also, if someone tells you you got a rebuilt engine from the factory, or a new engine from the factory, I'll have a tag right there that says Ford on it, so you know it's a brand new Ford engine. But other than that, it's a really nice engine. Like I said, it is a more expensive way of going, but you don't have to worry about timing it. You don't have to worry about anything else on there. Other than that, hope that you like my video. Please subscribe, and I look forward to the next one.